Hello and welcome to Game Objective. The purpose of this video is to provide you with a clear overview of the controversy surrounding The Last Night, a game that had its premiere at E3 on Sunday evening. First, this video is the corrected version of an original video that I had posted about the situation. I made an error with a writer's identity, which I'll talk about briefly once I get to that part. It's a minor correction as the details pretty much all remain the same, and I do apologize for the error. Now, for those of you new to this channel or my reporting, please allow me a brief introduction. My name is Brad Glasgow, and I'm the winner of last year's Kunkel Award for Excellence in News Reporting from the Society of Professional Journalists. I have built somewhat of a name for myself by reporting on the Gamergate situation, mostly because I take the highly unusual position of not offering my opinion about the controversy, and I listen to those who oppose it and those who support it. And I'm also currently writing a book on the matter. Now, that's out of the way, so let's get started. The Last Night trailer premiered at E3, and it was met with rave reviews for its visuals. Some people called it the best looking game at the show so far, which is saying quite a lot considering it uses 2D as well as 3D visuals. They call it a 2.5D game. The game takes place in a cyberpunk setting, and it's directed by Tim Soret, a Frenchman and the founder of the Odd Tales studio that's developing the game. It's published by Raw Fury. Not long after the trailer's release, someone announced that Tim Soret had tweeted support of the Gamergate movement 3 years ago, back in 2014. Zoe Quinn, whose alleged infidelity served as the initial catalyst that would later become Gamergate, went on the attack against Tim Soret, the developer. Quote, "Just for your information, I am 100% for never letting it go when a developer participated in Gamergate, unless someone actually made amends, but no one has." She then said that Tim Soret tried to ruin her life. She said that Tim Soret has issues with science because he argued that Bill Nye's new show was bringing identity politics into science. And there was at least one sock puppet account set up explicitly to relay negative information about The Last Night. I didn't get a screenshot of the account, but when I mentioned this account on Twitter, the user quickly deleted his or her account. Zoe Quinn retweeted this user at least once. There has been some question as to whether all the tweets attributed to Tim Soret from this sock puppet account were authentic, and I am currently looking into the matter, and I'll update this video with more information if and when I discover more. Meanwhile, Twitter, of course, went wild, and people said they wouldn't buy The Last Night because of these 3-year-old tweets. Others took Zoe Quinn's tweets as an attempt at gatekeeping, as if she's saying, "I have to be okay with your 3-year-old tweets or else you will face my wrath." And that's when Notch entered the picture. Marcus Notch Persson, as you likely know, is the creator of Minecraft, the second biggest selling game of all time, behind Tetris. And full disclosure here, I did an interview with Notch last year for The Escapist, and since that interview we've been on what I'd call friendly terms on Twitter. I tweeted a screen cap of Zoe Quinn's tweet because it's news that she was so strongly going after this game developer, and Notch follows me on Twitter. Without knowing that the tweet was from Zoe Quinn, Notch replied, quote, "What a effing C word." So then it was Zoe Quinn versus Notch on Twitter for a while, and they exchanged tweets for a short time, and that took over the controversy. Then the next day, Raw Fury, the publisher behind The Last Night, took to TwitLonger to issue an apology, where they said that, quote, "We at Raw Fury believe in equality, believe in feminism, and believe everyone has a right and chance at the equal pursuit of happiness. We would not be working with Tim Soret / Odd Tales at all if we believed they were against these principles in any respect." They said multiple times that Tim Soret was naive, both in, quote, buying into Gamergate and in, quote, debating Anita Sarkeesian's efforts toward highlighting sexism in the game industry. Zoe Quinn continued the attack and said she was, quote, "so effing disappointed in Raw Fury for that gutless statement," and it appeared that she tried to deplatform him from the Intel Gaming PC Gamer show at E3. She said that Tim Soret sicked Gamergate on a journalist that he didn't like. When you take a look at what actually happened, however, the evidence doesn't support that statement. Lisa Schaefer, who is listed as a marketing manager for Playmind, said that she interacted with Tim Soret while she was new to the industry, and she was discussing a Killscreen article with him on Twitter that complained about how Lara Croft wears her top. In the original video, I had thought that Lisa Schaefer had written the article, but I was incorrect, and I apologize for that error. Instead, she was just a participant in the conversation along with the writer Just Joho. The details after that, however, remain largely the same. Lisa Schaefer said, quote, "As a person new to the industry professionally, I didn't know what to do or how to react. I watched notifications update, people tweeting nonsense at me. I didn't know what to do. I thought that maybe this industry didn't want me." She also said, quote, "I'll let you find this tweet and read what followed," unquote. And so that's exactly what I did. Tim Soret tweeted to her and the writer in disagreement and compared Lara Croft's top to Nathan Drake's and said that the article was clickbait. He had a back and forth with the writer, which included Schaefer in the mentions, and it certainly wasn't a friendly interaction. He did call her a liar at one point, but it was relatively short as far as Twitter exchanges go. Some guy named Frank jumped in there to defend the article, and Soret talked to him for a few tweets, and then it was over. There were very few likes or retweets in that conversation. But cut to a couple of days ago, and again, Lisa said, quote, "I watched notifications update, people tweeting nonsense at me. I didn't know what to do." I did a search for her mentions and the mentions of the writer for that day and the next, and each of them only had about 20 tweets or less that mentioned them during that period. So now we skip back to Zoe Quinn, who said this exchange showed Tim Soret sicking Gamergate on this writer, but it turns out that there was no mention of Gamergate anywhere in their conversation. Indeed, there's not really any mention of Gamergate in either Lisa Schaefer or Just Joho's timelines. Still, Quinn tweeted this accusation to Intel Gaming, where Soret was scheduled to appear in an apparent attempt to deplatform him. The attempt to deplatform Soret had no effect, and he did appear at the PC Gamer show where he briefly apologized for his past tweets.
Now, of course, I have some concerns I want to address. I am embarrassed by some tweets I made in the past. I want to apologize for those. They do not in any way represent who I am today or what the last night will be about.
Well, let's talk.
In case you didn't understand that through his French accent, he said, quote, "I am embarrassed by some tweets I made in the past. I want to apologize for those. They do not in any way represent who I am today or what the last night will be about," unquote. Then the host quickly moved on to talk more about the game. In Tim Soret's mentions, the vast majority of people are saying that he should not have apologized. Then there are some people saying no apology could possibly matter, and then there are a few tweets out there of people who approve of the apology. But since the apology, things have died down for the most part. Zoe Quinn has not tweeted about it since. There have been multiple articles, of course, including both Kotaku and Polygon going after a quote from Microsoft to talk about their reaction to Soret's tweets, which resulted in the expected PR response that Microsoft supports inclusion and diversity, etc., etc. And there have been multiple columns about this, and of course, at least one outlet so far found it newsworthy that Notch called Zoe Quinn the C word on Twitter. I have been in contact with Tim Soret, and I hope to do an interview with him at some point after E3. Should this video require updating, I will do so in the description below, and you can also follow me on Twitter as I keep tabs on the story. The link is also below. And that will do it for this video. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like this video, and hit the dislike button if you didn't, and maybe let me know why in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more coverage. And this brings me to the part where I also have to plug my Patreon, as that is what keeps videos like this going. For Game Objective, your home for award-winning game journalism, this has been Brad Glasgow. Thanks for watching.